In the summer of 1518, something impossible began to happen in the streets of Strasbourg. Ordinary men and women started dancing, not for joy, not for celebration, but because they could not stop. They danced for hours, then days. Some collapsed from exhaustion, some died. Doctors, priests, and city officials watched it happen. They wrote it down. And even today, no one can fully explain what caused it. In 1518, Strasbourg was a crowded medieval city within the Holy Roman Empire. Life for ordinary people was harsh. The city had recently suffered through years of famine, crop failures, and disease. Food was scarce, prices were high, and poverty was widespread. Religious belief dominated daily life. Many people believed illness and disaster were punishments from God. Medical knowledge was limited, and superstition often filled the gaps where science could not. In July of that year, a woman later identified in records as Frau Trophäa stepped into the street and began to dance. At first, no one thought much of it. Public dancing was not unheard of. But something quickly became clear. She was not dancing by choice. She did not stop. She danced through the day. She danced through the night. Witnesses said her feet bled. Her body shook with exhaustion. After several days, she finally collapsed, only to stand up and continue again. Within a week, others began to join her. At first, it was a handful of people, then dozens. Then, according to some records, hundreds, men, women, young and old, all dancing uncontrollably. They did not smile. They did not celebrate. They begged for help while their bodies kept moving. Contemporary accounts describe people screaming in pain while dancing, their faces twisted in terror. Some collapsed and were carried away. Others never stood up again. This was not confined to one street. The phenomenon spread across Strasbourg. Crucially, this was not rumor. City officials recorded the events. Doctors examined the dancers. Clergy debated what it meant. Something real was happening. Faced with something they could not understand, Strasbourg's leaders made a decision that seems shocking today. They believed the dancers were suffering from a condition that required them to dance it out. The city hired musicians. They built temporary wooden platforms. They allowed, even encouraged, public dancing. This decision was not made out of cruelty. It was based on the dominant medical belief of the time, that certain illnesses were caused by hot blood and could only be cured through physical release. Instead of stopping the outbreak, it made things worse. More people joined, more people collapsed. Deaths continued. Only later did authorities change course, banning music and moving the dancers to shrines outside the city. No definitive cause has ever been proven. One theory suggests ergot poisoning, a toxic mold that grows on rye and can cause hallucinations and convulsions. However, ergot poisoning does not typically cause coordinated, prolonged dancing. Another explanation is mass psychogenic illness, a psychological response to extreme stress. Strasbourg's population had endured famine, disease, and fear. The dancing may have been an unconscious release of collective trauma. Religious explanations were also common at the time. Many believed the dancers were cursed or possessed. Modern historians tend to favor psychological explanations, but no single theory fully explains the scale and duration of the event. The dancing plague of 1518 remains one of the strangest documented medical events in history. It was not legend. It was not myth. It was recorded by those who witnessed it. What makes it disturbing is not just what happened, but how little we still understand about the human mind under extreme conditions. The people of Strasbourg were not insane. They were desperate, frightened, and overwhelmed, and for weeks their bodies danced when their minds could not stop them.